Kenny here with Gardening Simplified. Today we're going to talk about planting tomato seeds, and we're going to take some of our seeds that we've already planted and we're going to prick them out and pot them up. So let's get after it. Well, I just got another order of seeds in. We're going to have to get these out of the way. I've got me a pretty good bit of carrots there. Let's see, we got some more carrots here. I've got some more golden Detroit beets, some different variety of collards than what I normally grow. And let's see, we've got some dinosaur kale here, a variety, and some lavender, some Walla Walla onions, which now Walla Walla onions are made for more long day, but I wanted to grow some and see how they did down here in the south. So I'm going to try some of these, see what happens. Got some giant curly mustard, some poblano peppers, and Texas Hill Country red okra. I guess I have to have some of that being I'm in Texas. And some more heat wave lettuce. That's what I planted in my last video, and I got a little borage. So I got a bunch to plant, but today we're going to be potting these up. These were planted on the 20th. That was 7 days ago. This is 7 days of growth. These here are the same. They were planted on the 20th, and they're 7 days. I have those two varieties. And what we're going to be planting, or I've got some more mortgage lifters, and I haven't planted this variety before, and I'm going to try it. But these seeds, these are coming from sustainable seeds. I haven't bought, well, I have bought 2 orders here recently. They seem to be reasonably priced, and they definitely get them out to you in a hurry. So and a lot of places are running low on seeds. So one thing I want to stress to you today is, if you don't have your seeds, go ahead and make sure you get them. Now, I've probably got way more seeds than I need, along with my big mess. I have seeds all over the place. And but with the way things are now, with the COVID, and when people are kind of shut in, and plus more people are growing gardens, but we might have a problem with some of our food supply this year, because here in Texas, we've had that deep freeze that come down that killed a lot of crops, and they're having a lot of heavy rain and floods in some of the areas that's going to either cause delayed planting or something like that. It's the first time I've seen where there was a lot of produce, fruits, vegetables, onions, stuff like that wasn't in Walmart. So if you haven't decided to grow a garden, well, go ahead and start growing them. One, it's easy. But let's go ahead and get started on this. All right, this isn't going to be a complicated process here, because all we're going to do is we're going to use one of these trays here. I don't think I want quite that much. We're going to put a little moistened seed starter in here, and we're going to just bounce that down a little bit, and I'm just going to tap the top enough to smooth it out. Now, a lot of times I plant seeds in these trays right here, but I also plant in these, and what we're going to do, I got these seeds. Now, I probably don't need this many tomatoes, but this is a mortgage lifter, and mortgage lifter is a heirloom tomato. So once I plant these, I can take and go through the process of saving seeds from it, and they'll be back just like the original. So if I don't use all these, I'm sure there's going to be a neighbor or somebody that would like these. But this simple process now, I'm just going to put a little bit of dirt over the top. This might end up with about a 1/4 inch. But I'll just make sure all my seeds are covered so it's going to be moist. And then I'm just going to lightly tap this down. Now what I'll do on this, I'm going to set it off in my tray of water, let it soak water up in here good. And I might even take my little water jug in my hose, and I might run just a little bit on top to get it good and wet. But then once I get finished, I'm just going to snap this lid on here. Now I've got a little greenhouse. These trays are cheap. I've showed these in others where you just get these little storage containers from a dollar store or Walmart or something, and I drill holes in them so they can drain water. And they make excellent little trays to plant your seeds in. Okay, I've got my trays ready. I'm just going to be using a 40 cell tray here. And I'm going to put these first ones in here. These are going to be the Brandywine tomatoes. Now, I like to do it this way because it's so easy to take and do these. Now you can see these are small tomatoes, but you see these roots are already all out the bottom. So there's a lot of roots, but all I'm going to do is I'm going to let this kind of fall apart. Whenever I planted these, I had talked about I didn't really pack this in there because I wanted to be able to take these out. Now I have these little plants, and I'm just going to take each one of these little plants out. I'll separate this and then kind of tease them apart, and get each one of these ready. I don't want a lot of dirt on them when I put them in, but I do want to try to save the roots best as I can. Now there's still some that's probably coming up. I'm not going to be too concerned. I might plant the ones that's already out of the ground just to plant them. But if there's some that hadn't come up in this bunch that's still under the soil, we're not going to worry about them too much. These plants are really kind of tough. Some of these, if it's just coming up and don't look good, I'm not going to bother messing with it. But as you can see, we have a lot of plants here in this one container. Now, a lot of times I planted 50 seeds in one cell before. As long as you don't let them get real big, these are just now, some of them's trying to get their second leaves, their true leaves. You might, if you let them get to where they get their true leaves, you're going to have a harder time teasing them apart. But what we got here is we've got them all kind of separated. Now what I have here, I have a popsicle stick. But if you notice on the bottom, I put a little V here. This works good for helping me get these plants down in here. Now these plants, and I'm going to make this hole deep, but what I'm going to do is I'll just catch it with that popsicle stick, and I'm going to push it way down in there. So you can see that plant was kind of leggy before, but now it's not because it's off in that hole. But this is easy to do. It's just a matter of you don't have to worry about really messing it up. You be gentle but firm with it, and these plants will they'll come on. In fact, when they're little like this, they don't show near the problems with transplanting like they do once you start waiting until they get bigger. So, but like I say, this is not a complicated thing. You don't want to, the reason why I make the hole first before I put it in there, I don't want to just force it down off in that hole. I want to have a place where it can go easy, and then I'll kind of push the dirt, firm it up around it, and we'll continue. Now when I get one that has the seed still on the leaf, I'll take and hold the leaf, and I'll go ahead and pull that seed off so those leaves can open up. Occasionally I'll have one that ends up dying because the seed stays on there so tight. So to keep from having a problem like that, I'll take and go ahead and remove that. But as you can see, all these plants here, now they're not leggy at all, and they'll root all the way down that side. And you'll end up with a good healthy root system. Now what I'm probably will do, it just depends on how quick I need to put these into the ground. I might actually pot them up one more time. Depends on the weather. A lot of my tomatoes I'm starting early. I've already lost my first batch that were in the greenhouse. As some of you that watch my videos can see, I'm about ready to, I've got another batch or some that was left from that I'm going to get put up in there. Now once I finish putting all these in here, of course we want to make sure that we get our label in here because we want to know which ones these are. But what I'll end up doing is I'll water these from the top too. I want to make sure that soil settles in around them good so there's not a bunch of air pockets in there whenever I get finished. Now a lot of people say don't grab these by their stems, grab them by their leaves, because if you mess up the stem, you're in trouble. I grab them by the stems or the leaves. It doesn't matter which one to me. I don't normally have a problem with them messing up. Not to say it can't happen. These little trays here are a good size for starting them out, but if you're going to have them for a long period of time, you might want to put them into a bigger one. I don't like putting them in cups and such as that. But that's just me. I find that when I end up potting them up, they always seem to do better than if I just leave them where they're stagnant in a certain area. Once their roots tend to hit the sides, it seems like it wants to slow them down. So now we have one here still has a seed on it. I'm not going to try to take it off because of how small it is. When you're doing this too, make sure you get your roots off into the hole. You want to you really want them down there deep, and that's why when I make this hole I open it up and I'll put those roots down in there, make sure that they're at a good place. Now these will sprout roots all along this side. Most of you that's familiar with tomatoes know that you always plant them deeper because they will root out all those little hairs. Once they get to growing, let's replant that one there. And now that's all it is to it. I'll go ahead and I'll do this next bunch in here. If I have a cell or two that I don't have anything in, it's no big deal. But it's as easy as that, potting up your plants. When you grow them this way, it's real easy. Like say in the other container, it's easy that way. You don't have to have a expensive setup to do this. It's just a matter of setting them in there. Now these, I can put these under the grow light and for a few more days, or I can go ahead and move these out to the greenhouse and let them go there. The cooler temperatures are really good. It's been kind of overcast though. I'd get a whole lot more growth on them if I keep them inside just a little bit longer. If you want to see more of these videos, well, just hit that subscribe button, hit that bell button so you'll be notified. And if you have any questions or comments, just put them in the comments down below. Hit that thumbs up. Happy gardening.